Hello, Colorado. This is John Baird with I Love Colorado Beer. I Love Colorado Beer is your home for craft beer news, events, and information. Just go to ilovecoloradobeer.com. We also have great gear, including work shirts, hoodies, and hats, and all kinds of great stuff. Just go check out ilovecoloradobeer.com. Today on our show, we have Ross Bowdy. Ross is organizing the Winter Craft Beer Festival 2019. This is year 5.
Correct.
For the festival.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but Winter Craft Beer Festival was I Love Colorado Beer's debut festival. So thank you, Ross.
No, thank you guys. We've loved having you there every year.
So tell us what's new for 2019.
There's a couple things that we're really excited about. First and foremost, it's that we are moving back to CU. The first couple years we had it at their basketball stadium or arena, and this year we worked out a deal with them to move to the field house that's connected to Folsom Field where CU plays football.
Sounds like a great space.
Yeah, it's just a big wide open space. You can get your laps in if you want to, but I think the laps are going to be more beer related than athletic related.
So how is every year Winter Craft Beer Festival such a success?
Pure luck. No.
There's no work that goes into it or anything?
No, man. We got into this really just wanting to celebrate the artistry, the fun, the collaboration of this industry in our state, and a few of the wonderful ones beyond our borders as well. And so I think really our success has been in really listening to our brewers and really following what it is they're telling us they are looking for, what they want to see in an event. And then taking care of them, they bring the goods. And when good breweries show up with amazing beer, the rest matters, but that's the bulk of what we need in place. And so we've been able to be creative with the other side that's not beer related and have fun with that I think continues to push the envelope about what it is we're doing. But really I think it's been our attention to, hey, you breweries who are making this amazing stuff, how do we make this a benefit to you guys?
Right.
Because if they're happy, all the attendees are going to love what's happening.
Yeah. Well, it's a success every year, so thank you for all the hard work that you put into it. So I went to wintercraftbeerfestival.com, and I saw that there was a new tagline that I wasn't aware of from before, and it's disrupt, drink, and discover. What does that mean? So last year, as we went through the process of doing our 4th festival, I started listening to some stuff and thinking about what is the simple story of why we started. And this word disrupt kept coming up. And if you've been with us the whole time, you know that we did the last 2 years in a parking structure. So we sort of tried to disrupt the norm of what people expected for venues. Turns out it wasn't a great decision. Luckily, everyone was really wonderful, and there were still fun events, but it couldn't have been our long-term thing. But really what disrupt is getting us out of our everyday norms, breaking the cycle of, there's a reason Netflix and chill is an actual phrase that people talk about, because it's so easy to just go to work, go home, eat some food, put on Netflix, do it again. Right.
And especially in the wintertime, if you're not skiing all the time, you literally are just doing that over and over again. And so we really looked at that word as we want to disrupt the patterns of your life to do something that's a little bit fun outside the norm. And in that, I really feel like disrupt is a word that this craft industry is doing to the entire beer world. Yeah. They are in it together to disrupt the giants that have owned it forever.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
And then drink and discover. I guess I could say drink is just come drink, have a good time. Right. Very simple. And then discover, it's all about discovering that new beer that you like, the new brewery you didn't knew existed, the new sponsor that you didn't know before, all the different vendors that are on site. It's about just coming together as a community and finding out what's happening around us and finding new fun ways to engage in your community.
Right. Yeah, and I love the idea of discovering, because last year at Winter Craft Beer Festival, there was this chili beer that Twisted Pine brought that was just on fire. It was an amazing beer, but it was way more spicy than I was expecting. I'd never had anything like that before. So it's always great to discover new and different things like that. So
well, and that's kind of a crazy one for people like us that drink a lot.
Yeah.
But also on that Discover side, we really hope our festival, both in price and location, it's accessible enough for people that aren't crazy beer lovers, but they can come and discover, hey, I love white wine. Oh, there's 10 saisons here that are really similar. And there's stories like that you could say across the board, but to me that matters in the conversation about craft beer, is helping people that don't think they like beer find out actually you do.
Right.
You just don't like the beers you've had.
Right. Yeah. Well, would you mind sharing one piece from behind the scenes that consistently makes the Winter Craft Beer Festival such a success?
Whew. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yes. It only took 5 years.
Yeah, you
finally-
stumped me.
Yes.
You stumped me. I mean, I think for us it's been a listening and learning process. I don't know if you remember that first year very well, but it was a very different scene than what will be taking place this March 2nd. And a lot of it is us owning mistakes when we've made them, so that people don't want to leave us forever. And then not just being like, well, that's the way it is. It's we adjust on the fly, whether it's day of or whether it's moving forward, and thinking through the small little details, from where does beer need to get delivered to how do we set up signage so that people understand exactly where to enter the festival. Like you're gonna learn stuff every year that you didn't expect to battle. And if you just stay where you were, you're gonna lose.
Right.
And so we really try to listen, and I guarantee we'll make some mistakes this year. So it's the nature of live events with thousands of people involved. But we hope they aren't events, or they aren't mistakes that destroy the day, but are things that we can learn and tweak and move forward being better because of it.
Pardon me. Also, another thing that comes to mind is just the community feel of the whole craft beer scene. Like, everybody supports everybody else.
100%.
I haven't really ever seen any brewery that's like competing or like butting heads or negative with any other brewery. And I think that collaboration and that positive vibe that the craft beer community puts out helps with any festival, any sort of collaboration like that. So
yeah, I mean, I've never gotten a request for somebody's booth to not be next to somebody else's, but I get requests all the time of, hey, can we be next to them because they're buddies and they want to hang out for that 5 hours and have a blast giving people great beer. So
well, in preparing for the interview, I went to wintercraftbeerfestival.com, and
it's a website.
It's a website, and I noticed that you were talking a little bit about some of the fun that's going to be at the festival. So what can we expect to see in that line?
So, there's two major things that I think we will have until we don't exist anymore, besides beer. And one of that is just a fun live music opportunity. It's not the whole time, because you don't want to make a band play for 4 straight hours,
right.
but they're up there for about 3 hours of the fest. It'll be a cool, chill place to sit and rest, sit and have your food, because it's hard to do the balancing act if your food's not on a necklace attached to your body. But then we've done it twice, and I think we'll do it until the end of time. Our silent disco has become one of the people watching highlights of our festival, and I actually probably got more comments on that from brewers last year than anything else. Just that the last hour and a half to 2 hours of the festival, that is, you could record it and just watch it and laugh, and it's wonderful, because we all should be willing to have fun and be silly at all times, but you get a few drinks in you, and those inhibitions go away, and people are awesome, and it's a ton of fun. And then, gosh, we have some vendors come in, and some of our sponsors that are bringing really cool engagements alongside what the brewers are doing, and we even have a couple of vendors that are what they are calling crafted canned cocktails. So a little bit something different. So there'll be a lot of fun things to explore that aren't even necessarily beer.
Yeah.
One of our sponsors from the beginning, Hazel's Beverage World, always brings their A game and brings something fun and gives out prizes and engages the people. They were doing like a beer pong thing for prizes, and they literally never stopped playing. People just were always there, and those are the kind of fun things that you find yourself doing. And I don't even know all the things that are going to show up. That's what's so fun and crazy about this.
That's another great thing about the craft beer community is like everybody likes coming and having a good time, and so they'll just show up with their A game and fun stuff that they've done in the past and roll with it, and it's great. It's fun every year. Talking back about the silent disco, I remember last year, it's always fun to go in there and dance, but there were 3 times the number of people just standing around the outside watching all the fun people inside dancing, and it's especially fun to not be able to hear the music because they are just rocking. They're going to town to something, but you don't know what it is because you can't hear it. So that's always fun every year. So on the website, wintercraftbeerfestival.com, you listed fun surprises are going to happen. Tell us all the surprises.
No. You do that to me every year. And the reality is, I've already shared some of them. So who knows what'll happen over the next month? That's the fun of this is, I mean, truly one of my favorite things that started to happen, and it's happened years before, but it feels even more, is the people that are reaching out to me that just want to be a part of the day. And things that are so creative and so fun and such good ideas that they just want to be a part of something that celebrates their industry and their artistry the same way that they're celebrating theirs. And so who knows who's going to show up, but it'll be a ton of fun.
So there's going to be food there. It's always nice to pair food and beer. Do you know anything about who's going to be there yet?
So one of the things of working with CU is their restaurant group is going to run a couple of different things. They've been talking about some of their partnerships with like some barbecue place. I forget what they were saying now that I need to say it. But there'll be nice lunch options, snack options, from a soft pretzel place to a full meal. My hope is that we get some barbecue, some tacos, some pizza, and call it good.
Right.
So.
Every year, there's a big, very contentious competition that happens at this festival. Tell us about the People's Choice.
Yeah, so after the first year, we just started thinking through what are some things that we want to do if we were at a festival attending, and the thing that kind of rose to the top of that was giving people a chance to vote kind of best of. And in that first year we did the voting, we asked brewers to highlight one of your beers. Well, that's good and great and everything, but the breweries understood what they were doing, and they just basically started saying, vote for us, vote for us, vote for us, regardless of what you were drinking. And so it really does become a fun opportunity for the breweries to engage the attendees, to talk about their beer in a way to really ask for those votes. And what it does is it just means the brewers are bringing excellent beer. They're bringing some of their best people that want to talk about it and engage. And so every year it's been a really fun contest, hotly contested. We're actually at Liquid Mechanics right now, and you are drinking their peanut butter porter, and that beer / brewery has placed almost every year. Because they're bringing some excellent stuff, and so we really love the People's Choice. So you get like a little wooden nickel as you come in, and there's little voting boxes everywhere. And at the end of the day, or first drink, I'm sold. Throw it in there. There's no rules except you only get one vote.
Right. Well, that's always fun for everybody every year, and it's always nice to see. Who's really engaging with the crowd and can, fight for that People's Choice Award.
Yeah.
Do you know how many breweries are going to be there?
Currently 56. that could change. One of the things that I've learned is somebody's always going to have some panic moment of, oh wait, we signed up for that? But it's within a couple, and there's usually a wait list or something like that, that if we needed to call somebody to fill that, it's pretty easy to do. But whether it's 54 or 57, you're going to get a pretty similar experience.
It's plenty of great breweries to be there.
I actually don't feel that way for the first time of all the years, that I just don't see anybody bailing at this point.
Right.
There's been I think a little bit of our collaboration with Colorado Brewers Guild this year. We're seeing a way more active participation with our brewers on the front end. Not that they were slacking before, but because we're now supporting something that directly benefits them in the long term, I feel like we've gotten just a really wonderful line of communication with all the breweries.
So tell us about the Colorado Brewers Guild and how you're collaborating with them this year.
Needed that.
Right, got to prepare.
So I actually met with Steve at the Colorado Brewers Guild this past spring with just the conversation of going, hey, I've built this. I guess we've built this. I do have a business partner in this. But we don't feel like we need to exist if there's not a need. And so help me understand how we can continue to make this better and better for the brewers. As opposed to going to 50 some brewers one by one, why not talk to the guy who is basically their voice,
right.
And is fighting for them. And so we just had a really great conversation about the reality of the craft beer industry, the reality of specifically Colorado in that. And by the end of the conversation, we just sort of started talking about, well, maybe there's some ways we can collaborate. And then fast forward a couple months, and we were saying, hey, what if we just had you as our nonprofit partner? We've always had other nonprofit partners, but why not have the nonprofit partner be very industry specific? And we've just loved partnering with them so far. Time will tell the fullness of this partnership, but they're great. They're fighting every day for this industry to stay alive and thriving. And if you're paying attention at all, it's been a tougher couple years than we were used to seeing a decade ago. And so it really lined up with our long-term vision of being pro-brewer. And so, and one of the things last year we talked a lot about is we moved to independent-only breweries invited, which I was a little bit nervous about because we actually had quite a few national brewers that were good names, but had recently been bought out. And so I was like, crap, those are a lot of eyeballs we're gonna miss, but it didn't hurt us at all. It didn't hurt us at all. I think it actually benefited us more. And so I think our common vision of going, those breweries with millions of dollars in a marketing budget don't need to come to a local festival to get in front of the market.
Right.
We want to be supporting those that it benefits the most. And there's still some huge breweries coming, as you know. It's not like now we're all mom and pops, but I really believe that there's a reason why organizations like CBG are independent only and Brewers Association are independent only, because that's where you need the help.
Right.
So.
And also, I think people that are coming to a festival, they're kind of looking for that thing that's a little bit different. They want to discover something new.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people just want to come drink, and I'm fine with that.
And that's fine.
But yeah, I mean, I found myself attending a lot more beer festivals as a consumer, and I am not the guy who's banging down the doors with the pretzel necklaces with my plan of attack to get as much in that 4 hours as possible.
Right.
I love the vibe of just a casual stroll, having some chats, seeing some people. I probably don't get my money's worth in alcohol, but I get my money's worth in experience.
Exactly.
And so, like, however you choose to take advantage of these festivals, I think all of them are good choices. I mean, even if you just came and ate, had a couple sips, and listened to some music and danced at the silent disco, that's a great afternoon. It's a great afternoon.
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know about everybody else, but I've been looking forward to this festival since March 3rd, 2018.
Okay, tell me more.
And I want to know how I can prepare to make this experience the best it possibly can be. So I know it's rain or shine.
Yeah.
And tell us what we need to bring, how we can prepare to make this the best experience possible.
Yeah, I think there's a couple real easy things. One, pay attention to the website of where to park if you need to drive. Pay attention to the website for Lyft, Uber. There's literally an RTD that goes right through the middle of campus, bus stop right in front of the entrance. But I think it's going to a beer fest by yourself is not at the top of my list of things to do. I've done it because being in the industry, there's sometimes I just need to be there to say hi to some of my friends. But get a group of people. I actually just was talking in an email this week with a guy who's like, oh, this is right around my wife's birthday. We're going to get a whole group together. And that's the heart of any live event, isn't it? Whether it's a concert, whether it's a festival like this, whether it's an expo at a farmer's market or something like that. Like, it's way more fun when you get a group of people. So I think those are the best ways to really maximize. Now, we will have a beer list going live 2 weeks out. So if you really are going, I want to taste a certain amount of certain types, I would definitely say, print that off the website and bring it highlighted with who you want to grab and go for it.
Right. I think you touched on something there that's really important, making sure that people are safe. Like, we want to make
100%.
sure they travel safe, they have a DD. You have DD tickets, exactly?
Yeah, so DD tickets are only $5. We do that partially just because of getting closer and closer to selling out every year. We just needed to track numbers, And so, but there's so many fun things for them to do, and whether it's your pregnant friend, probably early term pregnancy, not late term, but your gluten-free friend, although we have a few options, or just your friend who doesn't like to drink but likes to have a ton of fun. I really don't see you not having fun as a designated driver at this event. And you are everybody's hero if you do that.
Yeah.
You just are.
And I'll say, last year, just the silent disco alone, easily worth $5. Just coming and hanging out, watching all the crazy people go to town.
Yes.
It's a great time every year.
Yeah.
So if people are interested in coming, which I know they are, how can they find your website and tickets and things like that?
Yeah, so there's two ways to buy tickets. The first is on our website, wintercraftbeerfestival.com. If you can't see the get tickets buttons all over the website, you're not trying hard enough. And if you're online and you're watching this, then these guys have gotten you a $5 off coupon. And it's just putting in the discount code CO Beer, Colorado Beer, at checkout, and that'll save you $5 on any ticket besides DD. And then the second way is if you're up in Boulder there are physical tickets on sale at Hazel's Beverage World. And what we do with them is there's no online ticket fee, and the $5 discount's already taken off there. And we just have loved our partnership with them. So any way we can push people into their great establishment. And trust me, if you're looking for a killer beer selection, you need to check Hazel's out.
Nice. A little bit more information. How can people find out? Facebook, social media. Are you guys on all that?
Yeah, we are basically Winter Craft Beer Festival on all things. I don't know about Twitter. It actually might be different. So sorry if you can't find us on Twitter.
It's got a search.
I think it's just Winter Craft Beer or something like that. But yeah, so we're at all those places. A lot of the content we've been working on is going to deliver in this next month. I mean, the reality is, to talk about this 6 months out doesn't make a ton of sense.
Right.
So there'll be a lot of conversations, and I would say, like, sales are the best we've ever seen by quite a bit. And so with our partnership with the CBG and with 56 breweries already signed up, from New Belgium to Bell's out of Michigan to Cigar City out of Florida to all these local ones like Liquid Mechanics, like I'd not sleep on it. Yeah. I'd move fast.
Right. Well, is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you think our listeners will want to know?
Oh, goodness. I feel like we've covered a lot of it. I mean, the only thing we actually were talking a little bit about, VIPs get in an hour early, so that's a good thing for people to know that you're basically paying just to get an hour without a lot of lines.
Yeah.
And there's also a unique VIP gift that we're working on that I can't quite tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be awesome.
More secrets, Ross.
Whatever it is, it's basically down to 2 options, but both of them are real cool and super fun. And our graphics guys have been crushing it this year with new things, and everyone gets a souvenir pint glass, whether you're a VIP or a general admission. You know, you don't get to go around with it because that would be a lot of broken glass.
Yeah.
But on your way out, you know, grab that and you'll have a good day.
Awesome. Well, Ross, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Really appreciate
Always
it.
a pleasure, John.
And go check out ilovecoloradobeer.com and check out wintercraftbeerfestival.com. And don't forget to use your promo code COBEER to get $5 off your tickets to the Winter Craft Beer Festival 2019.